What's going on, Any Button family? Welcome back to another video. It's Friday. Get ready for the weekend, and I am here with a Twitch streamer, Craig Moss, fellow Canadian out in Nova Scotia. How's it going, Craig?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How about yourself today?
I'm doing pretty good. So of course, got a bunch of questions for you. Lots of people, they want to be a Twitch streamer. They want to be a gamer professionally. So I got a bunch of questions, but we'll start off slow. So where did kind of your love for video games come from? Like, what was the first console you played? What was the first game you fell in love with?
Okay, that's all right. That's pretty good. The first ever console I had was a Nintendo 64. First game I think was the original Mario Kart or the Super Smash Bros. I played the Smash Bros a lot. Me and my brother used to just stay in the basement, just kind of play, and that's where my love for video games kind of started. That's when I lived in actually British Columbia, and yeah, that was back in 2005, 2006, I think.
Okay, so you went from like literally one side of Canada all the way to the other side.
Yeah, literally.
Who was your Smash main? Who was your go-to?
Oh God. It's usually Yoshi. Usually.
Okay, I like it. I'm more of an Ike main. I need a big sword, to start swinging.
Oh yeah.
So my next question, sorry. So you're out in Nova Scotia right now. So in terms of streaming, when you started streaming, how long ago was that?
Started consistently streaming, I'd say 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago. Okay. And so when you started, you were out in Nova Scotia.
Yes, sorry.
So my question is, you start off in Nova Scotia. When you started streaming, were you worried at all or concerned about, you're not necessarily in a huge market, you're not like in one of the big cities in Canada. Were you worried at all about how you would be able to gain a following?
I mean, when I first started streaming, it was very about the numbers, right? So like I jumped into it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get famous. Like this is gonna be great. I have a huge passion for it. Like it's gonna be get to take off, right? So that was a big part of my life for about 2 to 3 years. I think the first two to 3 years, it was all about like consistency, the numbers and such, and that actually put me in a really depressing spot because like with small streamers, it's gonna be very not big, right? So it's just going to be really small numbers, and it drove me really down. But until probably when I got a little bit more of a following, it didn't really sink in as much. So like it all made a difference when I shut off my viewership and I just kind of get my head out of that spacing. So it just kind of helps a lot not to focus on that, right? Like it's, but it was good though. It was good.
For sure. I think it's interesting you bring that up because I know a lot of people when they start off on Twitch, it's competitive. There's tons of streamers out there, and it's especially starting off, it's hard to get that first one, two, three, four viewers. So, what did you do in terms of motivating yourself? Because obviously you've built quite a following now. You've got thousands of followers. How like you said, you started a few years ago. How did you kind of motivate yourself to continue to keep going, to be consistent with it, even though sometimes things start off slow?
With motivation for me is like one of the biggest things in my life, period. I think how I really drove myself was just passion for entertainment, right? So I love making people laugh. That is what I like to do. Separate people from their everyday problems and just kind of like just sit, relax, watch some TV, basically, because that's what Twitch is. And no, to be honest, like with motivation, it really drives me with what type of music that I listen to in preparation for it. And having my stutter is not really that great either. So when I actually first started, it really made me insecure a little bit. But then I kind of gained the confidence to do it after like a year or so, I think.
Well, it's great to see that because obviously like I said, you've been able to gain a following. You have fans now. You have people that enjoy watching your content. Has there always kind of been that love for creating content? You said you like kind of being funny. Has that love for video games kind of always been there too?
Oh, absolutely. I've been playing video games since I was about 5 years old or so. Went from like the Nintendo 64 to the GameCube to PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I switched to PC, and I've just loved gaming. Gaming has always been there with an antidepressant type of thing, and it's always kind of made me calm down.
Definitely. So like we said, we've been talking about you're a Twitch streamer, and like I said at the beginning, tons of people would love to be Twitch streamers. So what kind of advice would you give for people that are just starting off? Like you said, you've been doing it for a few years now, so you definitely have some experience, some years under your belt. So what would you tell people who want to start off right now?
Uh, a few like good tips would be consistent. Consistency will always be your following without a doubt. Because when people know when you're going live, they're gonna most likely be there. So always have consistency. Be yourself is one of the biggest parts. Don't never pretend to be someone that you're completely not. And always have a schedule because then people will know when you're actually going live.
I totally agree with you. I think, like you said, being yourself is really important. And I think the most important thing, and you brought it up, is being consistent. And I feel like that kind of carries on through all kinds of media, any kind of platform. If you are consistent and continue to make content, it might be slow, but the viewers will continue to come. So my next question is about video games in general. Obviously, here at Anyone Gaming, we love talking video games. So I would say, I don't know if you'd agree with me, but over the last 10 to 20 years, video games and the video game industry have absolutely blown up. So many people are playing video games. There's so many different games out there. So what do you think's kind of allowed the video game industry to grow so much over the last decade or two?
Honestly, with I think that's with the esports too, because that's really like grown a whole lot within the past, say, few years or so. It's been like really like serious, and that's what people like. So when like my father like saw me gaming, it's like, oh, that's just so some kid gaming in a basement. But like he never really knew that it would grow out to be like a competitive tournament and stuff. Like people can actually make money off of it, and just I think that's getting through the younger generation's heads is like where you can play games to earn cash now. And I think that's why it's getting so big. Is just again, money revolves around the world. So I mean, I know people with like their passions for gaming, like for sure. Like gaming has been a huge thing for like a long time or so. Um, but if like as it is, I think the way it got big was just because like again tournaments, people doing it to make money and such. That would be
Yeah, like it's crazy to me whenever I hear these numbers that these athletes are making, these gamers are making, and like I'll go and tell my parents who like they don't really know much at all about video games, and I'll be like, yeah, this guy won like $1 million playing League of Legends, and it just blows people's minds. You know what I mean?
dude.
Yeah. So another question I want to ask you is just kind of where the game industry is going. So I feel like in the last couple of years we've seen a bunch of these free to play games that have absolutely blown up, and I feel like a lot of it is because it's free. And just because it's free doesn't mean that these companies aren't making money off of the games. Because take something like Fortnite or Warzone, which is free, or Fall Guys, which is free on the PlayStation Store for like a month. Do you think this is kind of a change or shift in the gaming industry where there's going to be free to play games, or do you think it's kind of just a trend for now?
I think really like Fortnite shot that off quite well. When that came out, that was a free to play game, and that seriously blew up. And they were still making like millions and millions of dollars a month just from a free game. But again, that's from like cosmetics and stuff. With free games, I think Fortnite really changed it for sure, and that's why like Warzone's free and Apex actually was free as well. But like just with all these free to play games, they can still make money from advertisements and cosmetics, right? So again, like there's still a huge market for free games to make the gamers quite happy.
And then kind of pivoting off of that, we talk about the free to play games, but you mentioned games like Fortnite, Apex, and I brought up Warzone. Do you think the battle royale type of game is here to stay, or is it the same, like just be a trend?
I think the battle royale is definitely here to stay for quite a while. That really again started a trend from Fortnite going to Apex, excuse me, going to Warzone and Blackout from Black Ops 4. So I think that trend will be here to stay. I feel like people really enjoy it, and still like thousands and thousands of people stream that like daily.
For sure. Craig, my last question for you. It's an easy one, but it might also be a hard one. What is your all-time favorite gaming moment? Like, I want to know, at what point in your life did you have the most fun playing a specific game?
Oh Jesus.
I
Wow.
know I'm putting you on the spot.
Wow. That is oh wow. Um I honestly couldn't tell you that. Oh, to like narrow down all the years I've been game into like one moment.
No,
Oh,
I know there's tons. I feel like honestly for me, some of it's been during COVID, not able to go outside. It kind of felt like at times that I was a kid again, back like in elementary school when I had all the time in the world on my hands and would just play like Call of Duty all day long.
yeah, that's true, man. And I find like most of my best moments that definitely came from Call of Duty. Back when Modern Warfare 2 came out, that's what like me and my friends did every day after school, was going there, doing free for all, Rust, quick scoping. Like that was like definitely some of my favorite. But as the games grew, I think like definitely Call of Duty Modern Warfare that like just came out. I would say that would be definitely one of my highlights for sure, because that's when I really have the most passion gaming, is when it's a nice quick arcade shooter. It's nice and it's just lets out all the anger. It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, you definitely brought back memories when you said quick scopes on Rust. There was always that one person who had to use the Barrett 50 cal instead of the intervention.
Oh, of course. Always.
But yeah, Craig, so I just want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I really appreciate it. For everyone here at Any Button, thank you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to tune in next week. It's another week, all kinds of content on the way. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't miss any of our videos.